Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm sorry to say marks the end of the Audi series because I did sell it and I bought an R56 John Cooper Works Mini, and I am super pumped to get this build started. So let's do a little walk around of the car and show you guys what I got. Before we get started, if you guys are enjoying the content, if you like the Mini and you want to see the channel grow, please go check out finiteco.net. I have one new shirt, one new hoodie, and a new hat that's out now. I know it's getting a little bit warm now, but if you live somewhere cold, go check it out. I really appreciate it and it helps out so much. So let's go back to the video. She is a little dirty right now, but we've got a VAG wide body kit on here. We've got aftermarket headlights, Apex wheels, I believe, what do we got? Yokohama tires. Other than that, it's like somewhat stock. Let's see. We have these aftermarket British taillights, which I really love. And then we have right here, John Cooper Works exhaust, and I had the muffler deleted at a shop, so it's a little bit louder. We'll be doing a downpipe later, and I'll show you what it sounds like in that video. I love the paint on this car. It's kind of this greenish gray and with the metal flake, and it looks absolutely beautiful, especially with all the blacked out trim and the wide body and the little bit of red poking in the bumpers. I think it looks super mean. Yeah, so the only problem that I really have with this car is the fitment. Like, it's definitely monster trucking, especially with the wide body kit. So today we are going to install coilovers. Woohoo, another coilover install video. So let's get to it. Let's start taking off some wheels and ripping it apart. Okay, so taking a look at the little strut over here, and we got brake line, probably an ABS sensor right here, and then we have our connecting rod for our sway bar, which is why they give you extra adjustable ones, because it's connected to your shock. First thing we're going to do is take out these two lines, and then we're going to go ahead and take out the bolt up here for the tie rod, not the tie rod, whatever this connecting rod is called, over here. And then we're going to go and take off this bolt and drop the hub assembly down and pull the coilover out, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to get going on those. Okay, I just got this connecting rod out from the back, and I just want to let you know that I had to jack up the hub a little bit to get this guy centered up properly so it would just slide out, but pretty easy. Now I'm going to unbolt the bottom of the strut, and hopefully the knuckle will just fall down and we'll be able to unscrew the shock from the top and have it drop down. So let's do that. There we go. Shock is now out of the hub, and we should be able to unscrew it from the top and drop it down. The top 3 bolts are out. Let's try to finesse this guy out of here. Oh, that was easy. Alright, there we go. Nice. I was actually so excited to get these installed that I kind of forgot to say what these are. So these are Godspeed coilovers, which aren't the best, but they're not the worst either. They have adjustable dampening and a camber plate. Hopefully they ride nice. We're going to find out. It also comes with adjustable connecting rods, which is nice. I'm not super sure how we're going to adjust these, but we'll figure it out. Also comes with extendable kind of twisty knob parts for the rears, so you can adjust it without ripping apart your interior. And then obviously the spanners that you need to adjust it. So, okay, I've pretty much got the coilover installed. Getting it to slip into the joint over here was a little bit of a pain, so make sure you leave the top screws somewhat loose so this has some leeway to move around, so it'll slip into this joint. I was about to start putting in the sway bar connector but clearly, as you can see, it won't reach. That's because I still have the stock suspension on that side and the car is jacked up a little funky, so the sway bar has too much strain on it, and that's why I had to jack up the wheel in the first place to get the old one out. So we're going to do the coilover on the other side, and then we'll have to come back here and reconnect and make sure, you know, our sway bar connectors are the same length and all of that jazz. But for now, I'm just going to tighten up this bolt, tighten up the top ones. Coilovers are at max low because I'm curious how low it'll go, and then we'll throw on the wheel and see what it looks like. Okay, I just lowered the front down. Honestly, not that impressed. Kinda wish it was lower. It's not bad. Still got a bit of a gap, but definitely better than this side. This side's got a huge gap, so I'm hoping once it levels, when this side's low and the back is low, it'll kind of level out. Plus we have to wait for the springs to settle, so hopefully this ends up coming out okay. But probably for a stock Mini Cooper without the wide body, you'd be chilling. But since the fender is cut and the car needs to be even lower, I don't know how well that's gonna work, but we'll find out. Time to move to the back. Okay, we're in the rear section now. The rear definitely looks easier, and the nice thing about Mini Coopers is the bolt is right here. You don't have to go digging through the trunk. You have two bolts right there. And if you come around the back, you can see we have a brake line and probably ABS again connected to the back of the strut, so we'll have to pop that off. And then we just move down here to this one bolt and pull that off, and the shock should come out. So should be a pretty easy process. I'm going to get to it. Not too bad at all. Okay, I just finished getting the rear coil on. Honestly, was not hard at all. The only thing I would recommend is doing the top two bolts first and then aligning the bottom one. That's what took me the longest time. I tried starting on the bottom and going to the top. And if you look here, you can see it's at kind of an angle. There's a ball joint at the top of here, and I didn't realize that. So when I was attaching at the bottom and putting it to the top, it was harder to align these bolts. So definitely start at the top, go to the bottom, and you'll be good. It's fairly easy, and honestly the fitment was great. See down here, all the clips for ABS and brake lines are nice. Everything looks good and tidy under here. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other two, and then we'll talk about fitment and things. Okay, I'm now working on the driver's side, and I got the coilover in, and now it's time to put in the sway bar connector. And so I just wanted to show you guys what I was doing. Okay, so here you can see the sway bar connector, and so in its shortest form, which it comes in stock, basically the end link ends up right here, and it's actually touching the axle. So what I had to do was extend the main thing so when it drops below the axle, and basically when I line it up with the coilover, you can see the sway bar has a decent amount of play in it, which is good. That's obviously what you want, especially when the other side is disconnected. So what I'm doing is I want it pretty much at max droop right now, because right now the wheel is as low as it's gonna ever go. So therefore the sway bar is not gonna go too much lower unless you have some weird twisting going. So basically I'm giving it, here, actually I'll show you. I'm gonna give it that much play. So when I put in right here, that's where that's my length I'm gonna have. So that's how much extra play I'm having in the max droop. If I can get this back here, there we go. And then plus when it tightens up, it'll lift a little bit further. So what I did, in order to measure for the other side, I basically laid it down here and marked how long I want it to be, so I can make sure this side is the same length as that side. So I'm gonna bolt everything up, and then we'll keep moving on. All right, the coilovers are installed. Let's cut to the beauty shot. I know I skipped a little bit of steps in this video, but honestly it was the easiest coilover install I've ever done. It really was not hard. Somehow BMW actually made things easy to work on for once. I've been riding on these coilovers for a couple weeks now, and they're pretty comfortable. They're really stiff because I have the stiffness all the way up because fitment is pretty tight and I didn't want to rub. The only problem I had with this install was those rear extenders for the stiffness in the rears. They don't go into the cabin. Like if you reach up where the top of the coilover should go before you put the coilover in, it's fully boxed in, so there's nowhere for that to even go, which is weird. But I guess you could drill through it from the inside if you want, but I just left them out. So the only way to adjust the rear dampening is to remove the coilover and turn it, which is ass. Kind of sucks. Luckily I just put it on max like stiffness because the car's pretty low. Yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with these coilovers. I was a little worried about how low the car can actually get with these coilovers, but in the beauty shots that you just saw, I actually had to raise the car a decent amount, maybe like 3/4 of an inch, so it can definitely go lower than what I have it at right now, but with the amount of bumpiness in the car, the coilovers don't go stiff enough to where I won't rub at all, which I don't like to have my cars rub. I like good fitment with no rubbing. So that's what I have now. I think the fitment's decent. Looks pretty nice right here. The rears definitely need some spacer, but you know, little things we can work out later. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.